Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I just pulled on my yarn because I'm knitting and it went flying out of my bag. Fly away yarn. Okay, I'm putting it down in there good. Okay. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 4th of June, 2020, and this is episode 399. That means next week we have a big episode for you. So, we'd like to say a welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, do you want to take things and talk for a bit?
So a lot is going on in the world right now, and the matter of the fact is that Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
All white people are inheritors of white privilege, and some of us are able to be less aware of this than others.
Yes.
So please educate yourself on your white privilege. You can't tell the black community how to protest and how to grieve and how to mourn.
Yes.
Police should not have the level of militarization they have and the increasing penchant for violence that they have, and they should not be able to break the Geneva Convention in regards to protesters.
Yes.
So I have a bunch of anti-racism links in my bio on Instagram.
Yeah, I've been, we both have been sharing quite a lot of stuff to our stories, both on Instagram as well as mine cross posts to my personal Facebook. Does yours do your stories?
Yes.
As well as to our Facebook page together. We're sharing there as well.
I have some resources in my Instagram bio. Donate when and where you can. Donate to memorial funds, donate directly to bail funds and community organizations. You don't need to donate directly to change.org when they ask you for a donation. They don't need it. And on the topic of donations, through the end of day on the 9th of June, 70% of all our proceeds from anything you buy in our Ravelry store will be given to the NAACP.
Yes.
So,
yeah. There's links in the show notes to get there, as well as in the YouTube description.
this is not an inherently political issue.
No.
And so, if you want to come at me for talking politics, go ahead. I don't care, but it's not politics. It is a structural and internalized issue that the country that I have lived in for most of my life was founded on, and that all of its systems were founded on.
The political is personal. So,
and if you have the ability to separate politics from your personal life, politics, that is also part of white privilege.
yeah. So, we have both been doing reading and listening to voices from the Black community, as well as persons of color, and we're going to make mistakes. But I would rather try and make a mistake than to not try at all. So, do what you can. And let's make a change. So, I don't know how to segue out of that. Crafting is definitely something that has and continues to help me. And so I know that's the same for many people. So we have continued to craft this week, and we'd like to share some of that with you.
I'm going to have you put in the show notes a link to BIPOC in Fiverr. It's an awesome database that has a bunch of incredible Fiverr artists that you can support.
Yes. Definitely. Okay. We're going to share some of our week with you. So here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on her needles.
Yes.
I have something on a different needle.
Yes. Okay. Well, I finished a pair of socks, and so I have a new pair on the needles. Where did the other one go? There it is. These are the inherent problem with wearing a ring like this. Do you see? I am working on birthday socks for my bestie Katie's oldest son, Noah. And this is my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern. I've just modified the numbers because he needed a 62 stitch sock.
Pink's hair is in my Q-snap.
I'm sorry. These are on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. They are on my 9-inch, what I call Zoom Zooms, which are Haya Sharps. And I call them Zoom Zooms because I zoom around in colors. In circles. I was thinking, I need to talk about colorways. I'm not going to tell you all the colorways I'm using. You can go to our show notes.
GeekyGirlsKnit.com
for a link to my Ravelry page because I'm using eight colors, maybe 9 colors, maybe in these socks. These are going to be another pair of Frankenstein socks. These will be tube socks because Noah is still a growing boy, and that will allow him to wear them longer. So since I'm doing Frankenstein socks again, I am doing them concurrently on 2 sets of 9-inch circulars. So the toe is done on both of them. And I have just started the first section. I do 10 rows of each colorway on the first sock, and I'll get it started on the second sock as soon as I finish those ones. I'm using my project bag from Nerdbird Makery. And my stitch markers, this one right here is from Tilting Planet, and the cute little ginger kitty is from Ann Tudor. She posted she was just playing around and made this really beautiful, it's a peace sign but with flowers on it. And she made it because she wanted to, and she posted it to her Instagram stories, and I was like, I love this. I totally would buy one if it was pink. And she was like,
I think that
she was like, that might happen. So I love the word peace. I have it in Hebrew, sorry. I'm like, language, what's the name of it? Hebrew shalom, tattooed on my arm. The word peace is very powerful for me. So I'm working on that. And then I did not finish this other project as I thought I might this week. My knitter's elbow has returned. So I ordered a brace from Amazon.
It's pink.
It is
it's
pink.
Bright pink, but the inside is a honeycomb pattern.
It is.
So when you take it off,
I don't know if I was trying to show my knitting group last night. There you go. You can
get
see it.
skin impressions, don't you, bro?
This actually was a 2-pack. So if I need it for the other arm, I have a second one. So yeah, knitter's elbow has returned. Dammy was looking for my brace when it got really bad over the weekend, and I was like, I don't know if that brace was from when we were in Scotland or if since we've been here. Apparently, the last time I needed it was when we were in Scotland because we did not have it here. So I had to buy a new set, which that's good. That means that I'm not it when it happens. It isn't
Consistent.
and it doesn't happen often. So hopefully doing this will help. Yeah. So I didn't finish this next project, but it's close. It's really close. This is in my project bag from Lizzie Bags. I don't know. Oh, because I copied it from the HTML.
And AMP.
From the show notes from last week. This is the Inner Peace Shawl, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. I'm on US 4's 3.5 mil needles. Could you help me hold this, maybe? No, grab the end right there. And the yarns are, this one right here is Pandia's Jewel Snug in the Supernatural colorway, and this is Suburban Citrus Sock in the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park colorway. So I am on the last section. Show them the stitch marker too. It's also from Tilting Planet.
Shiny and jiggly.
And I have 14 rows to go. So this will get finished this week. And I should have time to block it as well. So it will be done this week. And then the next thing that I will start on knitting wise that is not socks, because I need to, when I do stuff that is a heavier weight of yarn and on larger needles, I need to balance it and not work exclusively on that because it causes wrist pain for me. So I need to do birthday slippers for my niece and nephews. So if I have socks going as well as a pair of slippers going, I can do some on each day, or most days, and try to protect my
Ligaments.
my tools for making art and crafting and being
Arts and crafts.
being creative. Another way that I'm trying to help protect deal with the knitter's elbow is by alternating between the knitting and cross stitch, because it uses different muscles. And so like I've been trying to like work on socks and then work on Edinburgh Castle cross stitch and then work on the shawl and then work on other cross stitch. So to kind of just, you give muscles ways to protect themselves, heal themselves, all that. So yeah, that is everything that's on my needles because I have 2 FOs to show you for this week. So let's move on to that.
Now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Yes, because I just said I have 2 finished projects to show them.
Yeah,
You don't listen to me.
I don't have any sort of memory retention.
Okay. Well, that's not good for your exam tomorrow then.
No.
She has a week of school left and then a break before summer classes start, which you'll be doing online. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a break.
Don't mind the construction, guys. Don't mind the plumbing, guys. All right.
Let me just tell you.
Story time.
Story time. So there was a leak again. This is like the 5th time since we've lived in this apartment complex. In the plumbing, thank God, knock on wood. It's not in our flat, but they're having.
It's in the adjoining building.
Yeah. So
Which
no,
we
not
share.
adjoining building because it's all connected.
It is It is kind of a separate building of 6 more apartments, but we technically share both the main building number and a water main, apparently.
And the wall, because it's right there. Yeah. So anyway, they've got to replace 50 feet of pipe.
Or so.
And so we were without water most of the day Saturday. We've been without water on and off this entire week. And yesterday, before 8 a.m., I am woken to a jackhammer right at my head.
They do be loud, though.
I thought I might hurt someone. I threatened to. I was told that by the person I was speaking to and saying these things, that she would help if I got in trouble for hurting someone. But I wasn't really going to hurt
Who
someone.
said this to you?
I'll tell you when we're not on camera. Anyway, I'm
You
not
have finished projects.
I'm not going to hurt someone, but I really wanted to because I was angry. I do have finished projects, 2 of them, as we determined 2.5 minutes ago, before story time. So anyway, they're still working on the pipes. This is my 22nd finished preemie hat for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can find on Ravelry. I did it on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn, this variegated, is Brene Softy Baby Colors in the pink rainbow colorway, and the blue tonal is Lion Brand Heartland in the Glacier Bay colorway. So there's that. And then I finished a pair of socks. These are socks for my friend Mel for her birthday, which is next week. This is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. I did these on US 1.5, 2.5mm needles, and the yarn, this one right here is Abstract Fiber Super Sock Plus in the Summit colorway, and this one right here is the Yarn Tree Silver Sparkle Sock in the Dr. Donna colorway. So they are inverted. Inverted. The colors are inverted. There you go. Hello. Hello. So, with those 2 FOs, I am now at 598.1 meters for Stash Dash, out of my goal of 1,500 meters. So I'm over a third of the way there. So, awesomeness, yay. But we've been doing some other crafting too. So we're going to move on to the next segment and tell you all about it. And now it's time for FlossTube. Dammy.
I have not worked on Rapunzel since last week. You lied in the opening segment and said we'd been crafting.
You've been schooling. Sorry, I did not intend to lie.
I've been schooling both myself and others. Anyway, so this is Rapunzel by Unique Door Sign on Etsy. I, again, am almost done.
Do you know this information before I scroll? Because I'm putting the title of this episode in.
So happy. Yes. So again, I'm almost done. I need to finish this little white section of her skin color, and then this one hand, and then weave in all my ends. And I'm done with the stitching on it.
There you go.
Still don't know how I'm gonna finish it, though.
You should make it into a pillow. That's what I'm going to do with the one that I made for the thing I stitched for BMO, for my mama.
I don't think I should use a pillow.
No. It's just like a little cute little display piece. Like it literally, it's like the size. It's a little bit bigger than the size of the stitch. Mm. You don't have to. It's just a thought of another way you can do it besides framing it.
Okay. So my aerial needle minder is from So Happy Mail Bristol on Etsy. My magnetic snippety is from Catty Cross Stitches. And this bag is from Fat Cat Creates. I didn't have my cross stitch in the bag the entire week in Pink Lift.
Well, that's good. I'm glad she did not ingest any strings.
Yeah, she did want to come on the table last night, though.
Oh.
So that's why I was telling her no.
So funny story. So on our couch, it's a sectional, mm-hmm. and I sit in this corner here with my legs out on the chaise, but her preferred cushion to sit on the back of is the one that's like right by my right shoulder, and so she has taken to leaping over me to get onto the cushion instead of jumping up on the half wall at where our entrance is and walking and getting on, which she does do sometimes. But I have taken to judging her, giving her a score for her vaulting over me. And thus far, she has only gotten a 6.5 because she's not getting the fourth leg up on the cushion. it hangs off when she jumps. One of these days, she'll get it right and I'll give her a 10.
What have you been stitching?
Let me tell you. I have a finished stitch too, but first, I only did just a smidge on this one this week. This is in my Notions pouch by Pearl Girl Buttons. This is the third pattern. Where's the little book? There it is. Oops. This is the third pattern in the Pusheen cross stitch kit. It looks like this. And I'm only working on this when I do Stitch With Me's, but I did a shortened Stitch With Me this week. It got delayed because of the whole water situation and jackhammering. And then I just did a short one, so I only got a few stitches in. It's on 14 count Aida that came with the kit and the 4 colors that came with the kit. So now all of it is done other than filling in the tan. The rest of it is just all fill in. So there is that. My finish for this week is the pattern Hildy's Brew by Bindi Stitchy Designs.
I love the fabric.
It is so gorgeous, but it was really hard to stitch on. It is a 28 count even weave from Fortnite Fabrics. I don't remember the name of the mushroom. It was
Twaffles. I don't know.
no. That was done. I love this variegated that was around the outside. It's a Threadworks color. And
Spooky.
I don't know if you can see the sparkle in the cauldron smoke and the smoke from the chimney. There is a silver sparkle to it.
It do be sparkly though.
So this is the second one finished out of the Hildy series thus far. And I have started the third one because I want to do that and then FFO them all together. This is in my project bag from Stitch Toolbox, my Outlander to Better to Sleep. Love, I tell you this every week, I love the zipper pull. I'm using a snippety from Catty Cross Stitches as well. Okay, so let me show you. Oh, and I'm doing this as part of, this one's called Hildy's Strawberry Patch, again by Bindi Stitchy Designs, by my friend Michelle, love her. I'm doing this as a stitch along, hashtag Bindi Hildy Sal, with Liz from Bent Needle Makes on Instagram. Okay, so this pattern is designed to be made into a cushion, like a pin cushion, a strawberry pin cushion. But I don't want to do that because I purchased 3 like charger plates from Michael's back before the pandemic, and I want to finish all 3 of the Hildy pieces on them. Yes, I realize the pieces are rectangular. It's okay. The chargers are round. It's fine. So I wanted to finish this one flat. So Michelle had sent me this picture of it flat. Obviously there's like nothing down here because it was made into a strawberry. So what I have done, or what I'm doing is, I'm taking the flower and vine from here and flipping it and putting one here, and then taking this flower and vine and flipping it, putting it here. I'm not doing the strawberries because they would hang upside down. And then I'm taking I can't remember which bee, I'm taking bees that are facing opposite directions and putting one here and one here. And I actually, it was so funny, I took a picture and sent it to Michelle. I was like, I cut and pasted this and not on the computer. I literally, I guess I didn't paste, I taped it. But because I printed a second copy of the pattern and then cut out the flowers and vines and the bees and taped them onto the pattern just to make my brain work correctly. So I am using the called for colors on this. They're all DMC except for one color I didn't have. I didn't have 156, which is blue violet medium light, and so I'm using 155, and it's going to be fine. And my fabric is also from Fortnite Fabric. This is again from their Fabric of the Month 2020 Mushroom Collection. This was the very first one, January. This is the Alba White Truffle on 28 count even weave. Mm-hmm. So here we go. So I've done, because of how the pattern is designed, like there was nothing in the upper left. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Because I don't want to start in the center. So Dammy suggested I started at the bottom left. So here is one vine and flower complete. There is a bee, and then I've started on these center strawberries. I've got to do the rest of the strawberry.
Strawberry.
So, and this is going to get put away so that I can do the next section on my Christmas list. It is the stockings. Hang your stocking, I believe is the wording. And it's got, I think, 2 stockings. So that will be this week's focus on the cross stitch. And then if I finish that, I'll go back to working on Hildy's strawberry patch. So that puts me at, I didn't say what Stash Dash was earlier. It's a challenge from the Knit Girls podcast, where you get to, if you finish a project, you get to use the entire meterage of the project, not just what you've completed during Stash Dash. But I have also given myself personal cross-stitch Stash Dash challenges. So for all of my projects except for Edinburgh Castle, I would like to complete 20,000 stitches during Stash Dash, and I'm currently at 1,808. So I may have overshot it, but we'll see. It might happen. It might happen. We'll see. But if I finish my knitting goals, I will still continue to work on socks and such, but then I would be able to give a little more time focus to cross-stitch projects. Especially because one of my things that I definitely want to get started, as soon as I finish Hildy's strawberry patch, I will be starting on the 3 cat and mandalas that I'm doing for your birthday. The fabric has been shipped, and most of the floss has been shipped. I ordered from 123 Stitch, and there are a few that are on back order. So, but I was like, well, I could at least start with what I needed that I didn't have that I ordered. So, yep. Okay, and then my final cross stitch project is in my Knit Run Dig Winnie the Pooh project bag. I'm using Pattern Keeper software on the Kindle Fire 7. The pattern is Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery.
Again, we apologize for any construction noise you can hear, but we can't really do anything about it.
Hopefully y'all aren't hearing it as loud as I am, because like when I was on the phone yesterday with my boss, they were jackhammering and she couldn't hear it, even like when I held the phone out towards the wall. She was like, that phone must have really good noise canceling in it. Okay, so Edinburgh Castle, my full coverage piece by Terra Luna Stitchery. I know it says designs by Stitch Witch, but I guess they changed their name to Terra Luna Stitchery. So last week on the 27th of May, stitching, when I showed it to y'all, I had done 8,600 stitches. And now, this is where I am at. My castle is turning. The needle minders are both from Top Knot Stitcher, Abby at Top Knot Stitcher. Grime Guard is from Crab Shack Stitchery, and I'm also using a Snippety by Catty Cross Stitches. So this is where I'm at. This puts me at 10,000 stitches complete out of 265,824. That is 3.762% complete. Almost done with the second page out of 60 of the pattern. And for Stash Dash, this gives me 2,600 stitches out of the 18,000 I want to complete on this during Stash Dash. So I'm really excited because I will be adding new colors in this column and the next. And I'm so excited. In fact, I think I might get to add a new color today when I stitch on this.
They are all blue, though.
Yes, but still, I have been working with the same 3 colors. 3 colors. So I'm very excited to add a new color, even though it's blue. So, yeah, so I am making progress on that. I do 200 stitches a day on that, and I'm doing 10 stitches, which means only one leg of the X is happening. That is on a 25 count gridded fabric, and I'm using 2 strands of floss over 1. Because that's why I'm doing that, because I'm doing tent stitch. If I was doing full X's, I would do 1 strand over 1. So, I'm continuing to participate in Semi-Sane Stitchers. I'm getting close to being, let's see, I could just open it here and tell you how close I am on things. On the Background Certificates Challenge, I am, let's see. I will be done with the Sydney Opera House in Australia this week, which is 5,110 stitches. And I'm about halfway done with the Taj Mahal in India. And that will give me, those 2 completed, that will give me 13 out of 23 landmarks complete. For the Mapping Your Literary Journey, I finished 4 books. I am about, I don't know that I updated. No, I did not. I updated it down here, but I didn't update it up in the top thing. So I am about a third of the way through one of the books, and then I am barely started on the other book that I'm working on. I use one for background certificates. I use 1 location for Edinburgh Castle and 1 for everywhere else. And for Map Your Literary Journey, I use 1 for Edinburgh Castle and 1 for everything else. And then this month, I'm also participating in Around the World. You do 5,000 stitches on anything, and you get an entry into their giveaways. I am using Edinburgh Castle for the This or That Bright or Dark challenge. You don't have to count stitches on that. You just have to do a starting picture and then a picture at the end of the month showing progress. And then I'm also participating in the Semi-Sane School Stitching Reports. And there are 5 school subjects, and you had to make a goal for each of them. So, like, for math, the goal is to start on at least one of your birthday cats and mandalas, and that counts for math because it's got geometric shapes and repetitions. Science, start Hildy Strawberry Patch because it's got strawberries and flowers. Science. History, continue working on Edinburgh Castle. Castle's part of Edinburgh's history. Language, continue to stitch on My Christmas List with the 22nd of August deadline for finishing. Words are rhyming and poetic, so that's language. And then you have an optional subject, and so I'm doing Pushing Kitty, the 3rd one. The kitty is eating a donut, so it's for home economics, because you can make donuts in home economics.
It's for lunch. So
those are the things that I'm doing with Semi-Sane Stitchers this month. After last month's Stitchopoly, which was really intense but a lot of fun, I decided not to do the more intense challenge for this month. They're doing a bingo challenge. So I decided not to do that, which is fine. You pick and choose what you want to participate in, and that's awesome. Okay, that is everything for this segment. We do have some cross-stitch content in Yummies, so you should stay tuned. And now it's time. I like how her head is just like peeking. For our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So we got a package in the post this week that we weren't even expecting. Yay! From our friend Julia, who is G-Z. And Pink got a present in that parcel. A cat toy.
I woke her up from a nap. So
yes, to show
annoyed.
You. And then there was something for the Dr. Hubs.
Go get it!
It says a bibliophile can never have too many bookmarks. They're those magnetic bookmarks. And then Dammy and I both got needle minders.
so pretty.
How beautiful is that? Mine is Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Ariel. I'm scared to use it as an actual needle minder.
So these are from House of Ming. So she's on Facebook and Instagram as House of Ming, and you can order directly from there. So pretty. I know, I'm scared to use it. I feel like it's probably going to just go on my, on my craft cart, my rose gold craft cart that I love so much. It's metal. And so I have all my needle minders I'm not using magneted on there. So Belle is my favorite princess. And Ariel is Dammy's. So thank you so much to our friend Julia for sending that to us. We were having a rough day that day, and we were just all so excited. We were like, oh my gosh, we got a parcel. And she had wrapped them each individually, and it said our names on them, and it was just so sweet. So thank you, Julia.
Pink did not open her own wrapping.
I opened it. So thank you so much to Julia. We love you, Julia. Thank you. Then our friend Joanne brought a, we had a porch exchange. She dropped off some stuff and picked up some stuff. So she left us some yarn. This is Cascade Yarn's Heritage Prints. 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. Fingering weight, 100 grams, 437 yards, 400 meters in color number 50.
Oh, yes.
And this is what it looks like when it's knit up. You know, this would be pretty for Katie for her birthday.
Yeah.
I will probably wind it, or actually have someone wind it into a cake for me to do that. And then she gave us this one. This, it doesn't have a tag on it, but I know it was dyed by Lois at Allen Knit Shop, which is one of our local knit shops. And it looks like it's probably a heavy fingering. I believe probably it's the same base as the yarn, actually, that's right here, that I used when I made the Dr. Hub socks. So I'm guessing it's probably the Kalispell base, which is 90% superwash tar heat, 10% nylon, 4 ounces, 465 yards, would be my guess on that. But I'm using that in the Frankenstein socks. So there's that. And then do you want to show this, Dammy, since she sent it for you?
Yes. Thank you so much. She gave me a cross-stitch kit, and it's the ABCs of cats from I'm not sure what A is supposed to be. So from Burmese to Z.
I don't know either.
I'll find out when I open it.
So it's a lot of them are breeds, but then there's some that are like G is for graceful, I is for independent, Q is for it's good to be the queen, U is for uppity, X is for extra special friend, Y is for yawn, and Z is for Z. The company is Design Works. It's a 16 by 21 inch piece. And it came with the Ada and the floss and everything to do it. So while Dammy is waiting for her embroidery kits, maybe that's something she can start on. Okay. I have to tell you about this, and I literally screamed when I opened it. And you and the Dr. Hubs were kind of concerned. I was so excited. So I am part of Michelle Bindi Stitchy Designs Patreon community. And she organized for anyone who wanted to participate in it, a swap called the ATC swap, which stands for Artist Trading Card. And so it's like, think like a baseball card, but it's artistic. So you had to cross stitch something and then put it on this card, or cross stitch something the size of a card, excuse me, for your partner. And I don't know if I ever showed the one that I did, because I didn't want to spoil it if the person was watching. So she liked Alice in Wonderland and coffee and tealy green. So I did Alice with a coffee sticker and said tea, not for me. I'm a coffee kind of girl. So that's the one that I did. So my person who sent to me was the lovely Erin 2 Martini Stitcher, who has a fabulous floss tube. And I've met her in person because she is local to us. She lives in the Seattle area. So I've met her multiple times. She sent me this cute Cats with Sunglasses card. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but she told me that she had a scrap of 18 count Aida fabric that was white, and she dyed it pink, and then sent me the leftover to use. So this is my card from Erin. A house is not a home without a cat. It's so cute. And then she put her information on the back. And it's just got this cute little spirally paper clip on it. I love it so much. So much. I really honestly screamed. And then here's the leftover fabric. So I can stitch some stuff on it. But it was... I'm so excited for the next exchange when it gets set up. She actually showed the pattern that she pulled this kitty from on her FlossTube this week, because she didn't want to show it on FlossTube because she didn't want me to be spoiled and learn.
Ooh, pink hair.
You finished! Yay!
Now I need to handle this mess.
Oh yeah, are those all woven in?
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So thank you so much, Erin. Love you so much, sweetie. I appreciate you. And then I got my monthly fabric of the month from Fortnite Fabrics. Actually, this was just hand delivered today. For May, the colorway is Moral. And again, this is on 28 count even weave. And it's just a beautiful,
so pretty.
Beautiful neutral. It's a little, that's closer to the true color right there. So that was my fabric from Fortnite Fabrics. Do we have anything else for Yummies? That feels like a lot. I think we said a lot. Okay, then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. Well, this month's list, June, the overall theme is summertime and the living is easy.
Meow.
Because our along for that started on June the 1st. So there's all kinds of fun prompts. So what are we about to show them, Dammy?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Do you know today's prompt?
No.
Uno momento, por favor. Morning. Well, I didn't take a picture this morning. Oops. You post it, you interpret it however you wish. Everything, we're very cheater friendly on that. You post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad, because that's how we find your photos. And yours might get chosen. If you have a private account on Instagram and you are participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you, because otherwise we can't see your photos. So send her a message and she'll follow you and all will be good. Upcoming events. Grazing Hills Fiberfest in Viola, Idaho, Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th of July. I am going to be teaching a continental knitting class on the Saturday from 10 to noon. I ordered more copies of our 3 physical books, as well as new business cards this week. So, yeah. Details about that, links to the website are in the show notes. Okay, I think we are ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
What are you reading?
What do you think I'm reading? I'm reading the Bible. I'm reading the Bourgeoisie by Richard B. Lee. I'm reading the Cherry... I do those... I'm reading the Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov and rereading Hamlet by Shakespeare for a paper I need to do.
Did you forget some homework you needed to do?
It was just in the back of my mind. I need to do readings for tomorrow morning because we'll have a quiz.
And you have an exam tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like I know what the rest of your day's going to look like.
Uh-huh. And I'm also reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
Well, I know without a shadow of a doubt that you are getting in at least 15 minutes of reading a day.
Yeah.
What am I referring to?
The April, May, June, Raoul read along.
So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. And there is a finish line thread for the seasonal Raoul's. And you post once there and then edit your post, and you earn entries from that into the year-long challenge. And we will be giving away 3 grand prizes at the beginning of 2021. There are opportunities to earn bonus entries. So all the details are in the Ravelry group or on our website,
geekygirlsknit.com.
There you go. Okay, what I'm reading. I am continuing to read Fibershed, Growing a Movement of Farmers, Fashion Activists, and Makers for a New Textile Economy by Rebecca Burgess. I'm learning a lot from that book. I am reading Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly, which is a book, nonfiction book about the history of human calculators in... primarily in the space program, but also prior to that, like dealing with planes, military planes for the war and such. But a big part of the conversation is that, or of the writing, is that many of these human calculators were black women. Mm-hmm. So I am actually getting really close to being done with this book. I think probably in the next couple of days I'll be done with it. So, I'm continuing to reread book 5 in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I'm reading The Order of the Phoenix along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week was the second half of the Hogwarts High Inquisitor for Swish and Flick. I am reading the Cormoran Strike series by Robert, is it Galbraith? Is that what you told me?
I think it would be Galbraith.
Galbraith, which is a pseudonym for J.K. Rowling. I finished reading book 3. The main character in this is a private investigator who lost part of his leg while he was in the military. And this is not a YA series, it's an adult series. So, I'm continuing to read the In Death series by J.D. Robb. I finished reading book 50.
Wow.
This is set in the future and it's about a, police detective. Definitely an adult series. So I am now caught up but I think there's already release dates for books 51 and 52.
My.
So, that. Last night, I just finished reading book 1 in the I have no idea how you pronounce this because it's a made up name for a race of people. Do you see it right there?
Is that an I?
Yeah.
Thanks, Kalan.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. By Arcady, or is it Arcady? I believe it's a pseudonym as well. Martine. The book is called A Memory Called Empire. I finished reading it last night. It is set in space, but it's so like this woman is sent from a space station to this planet as an ambassador, but we come to find out, well, for really pretty early on in the book, that the previous ambassador had been murdered, and so she's trying to investigate that. But we also learn that she has had implanted in her brain a device that, like, I believe it's called the Imago device, and it like takes the memories and such from the previous ambassador and puts it into her brain so that she knows.
A trill.
Yeah, kind of.
Grow.
Kind of. So.
Worms.
But there's like a lot of political unrest that's happening on this planet, and she gets pulled into it, and it was a really interesting book. It took me longer to read than it normally takes me to read fiction because of, like, for example, like we just had trouble pronouncing the name of the series, but like all of the characters that are from the planet are named a number and then a like an object. So like there's like 12 azaleas is somebody's name.
Azaleas?
Like there was one that was like, I can't remember what the number was, but like 6 helicopter or whatever. And so that like it made my brain have to like stop every time there was a name or something mentioned, because it was so unusual that, like, my eyes just didn't flow through. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. So, but it was really, really good. And then I just barely started City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. This is the same Elizabeth Gilbert that wrote Eat, Pray, Love. But this is a fiction book. And it's like, this lady is like, it's a historical fiction, and this lady is like she's older and she's telling like her life. So I just barely started it, so I don't know very much about what it is, what's going to happen with it. So we will see as I'm continuing to read. I didn't actually watch we watched a lot of Frasier this week, but I didn't watch a whole ton of television as I usually do. I've been listening to some podcasts on various topics, and so I didn't watch as much TV this week as I normally do. I did finish series 3 of Whitechapel, which is a British procedural, but like the cases they're dealing with are based, it's like copycats of historical cases. So like series 1 was like Jack the Ripper, etc. It's a really, really interesting, good series, but it is very dark, and so I like needed a break from it after I finished series 3. I think I only have one more series to go, so I think there may be only like maybe 6 more episodes or something. So you want to talk about the next stuff?
So we finished season 7 and 8 of Frasier, and now we are just into season 9.
Yes, we're rewatching this for, I don't know how many of time. So, before we were rudely interrupted by construction, Niles and Daphne got together. They've been together for a year now. I have to say how much I disliked, and I've said this like all along, the way that they tried to cover
Jane
Leaves pregnancy, real life pregnancy. So she wasn't pregnant in Daphne wasn't pregnant in the show, but she was pregnant in real life, and they covered it as sending her eating, and getting fat, and sending her to essentially a fat farm to lose the weight. And that storyline really irks me. So I don't think it is okay. Yeah. And then we just started season 9 last night, and I knew it was coming, but I didn't remember when it came. But season 9 started airing 2 weeks after 9/11, and the creator and his wife, he was a producer as well of the show, were killed in one of the airplanes that hit World Trade Center. So they dedicated the 2-part season finale to premiere to them, and I know you've seen it before, but I don't want to spoil you if you're not wanting to know something that happened around that. Do you want me to say it or wait until it happens? When Niles and Daphne have their baby at the end of the series, the baby's named in memory of them. So yeah. And then what else are we watching?
Cabin Fever, which is extended bit of Cabin Pressure by Jonathan Moore, which was a BBC Radio 4 comedy. Really fantastic.
I can't remember what happened in the new episode.
Sticking things in his beard. I tried to stick things in Hab's goatee, but it's too short, and he keeps it too well combed. It's not a scraggly mess. If it were, someone would have some words. So nothing would stay in his goatee.
So we could not compete in the challenge.
Could stick things in Pink's. No, she doesn't have enough fur. She needs to be at least a medium hair to hide things in her
She
fur.
has a ton of fur, but it's short fur.
Pink, grow more fur.
No, please don't. She sheds
It's not winter
so much.
yet.
I am watching The 100 season 7. It's the final season. We are watching. We watched the premiere of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 7, which is also the final season.
I'm just gonna say I was obsessed with Marvel at one point in my younger to mid-teen years. Now I feel like I'm just really done with Marvel and also the whole Hydra and Nazi thing.
Yeah, because they got sent back in time.
I was like, oh, cool, back in time. Oh, Nazis
and Hydra.
And the costumes do be cute though.
They are. And I do know, I saw an article somewhere that a character from Agent Carter is going to be somewhere in the season.
Susa?
I can't remember who it was. But
Not Chad Michael Murray, surely.
I can't remember who it was. We will find out when it happens.
I did one of my final projects in high school, homeschooling, on Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey through season 1 of Agent Carter.
I am totally blanking on where Fitz is.
I think he's still frozen in space. I'm not sure. You know, he'd just be out there.
We have a new episode to watch tonight.
The truth is out there.
I was trying to do the theme song of X-Files. I'm watching season 5 of Blind Spot. It's also the final season of this show. Lots of shows are ending. And watching season 6 of Good Witch. Listening to my favorite murder podcast this morning's was so powerful. They talked about
Ida B. Wells.
Thank you, who was one of the creators of the NAACP, and then they talked about the Stonewall riots. I was like, I'm losing the other word, Stonewall riots. It was very, very interesting. I mean, I knew some, but I didn't know as much as they shared. So that was a really, really amazing episode. Listening to random Spotify playlists. In the show notes is a link to my CC's Faves playlist.
Cabin Pressure random Spotify playlists. In the show notes is a link to my Songs of Resilience playlist.
Yes. And that is what we are reading, watching, and listening to. We have some prizes to give out. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl.
Bah.
So this is over. So before we get to announcing the prizes, I want to congratulate the 85 posts, some number of people who finished projects in the last days of the owl. So we have Crafty Textile Lady, D-Door4, DG White, DJID, Elsa and M, I Now Hour, Falling Star 12, Harps 57, Heverson, I Knit Socks 2, Jodediah, Kimi 1007, Knit Fantasy, Knit Live Love, Knitter Chow, Little Angel SG2, La Mermaid, Most Crochet, Nicole S, Nikki Knits, Panushka, Shirley Knits 123, Silver Luna 2112, and Travel Socks.
Great job, everybody. Yes. Okay, so we are going...
Spring was extraordinarily long.
Yes. We are going to announce the prize winners. If you are one of the prize winners, you have
30 days from the day this podcast goes live to claim your prize, or you forfeit it.
And to claim your prize, you send a message to me, Java Pearl, on Ravelry, with your full name and mailing address.
That's right.
Because we have to know that. And we will do our best to get these out as soon as possible. I'm still not leaving our flat, so... and the Dr. Hubs goes back to work in the office next week. So bear with us and we will get these sent out as soon as we can. We do want to say a huge thank you to all of the prize donors who donated these prizes that you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you for your support of the podcast. We love you guys.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you want me to say the prize and you say who the winner is?
Sure.
Alrighty, here we go. First up, we have the Honeybee Project Bag and Stitch Marker made and donated by Teresa, who is Jazzy Creations on Etsy. The winner is
202 I Now Hour.
Second, we have Lion Brand Magic Stripes yarn in the Jelly Bean colorway. We have 3 skeins. 3 winners will each win 1 skein. And those 3 winners are
167 Trilinda, 200 Meditative Crafter, and 7 I Knit Socks 2.
we have a Karen Hallion She's Got Help print.
Marble print.
Yes. And the winner is
17 Little Angel SG2.
We have a Plymouth Owl shawl pin donated by Eileen, who is leaner on Ravelry. The winner is
63 La Mermaid. I'm still not sure how to say it properly. I'm just guessing.
I think that
La Mermaid. La Mermaid.
I think that's... We're going to go with that. We have a... from Pandia's Jewels, a leaf stitch marker set. The winner is
204 Yellcat 2.
We have a skein of CJ Copic Creations Integrity yarn in the Purple Passion colorway donated by Eileen, who is leaner. The winner is
141 Knit Girl Wagner.
And we have a skein of One Twisted Trees BFL Prime in very Mardi Gras colors donated by Mary Beth, who is Mary Beth 1199, and the winner is
321 Knit Live Love.
So again, our winners are I Now Hour, Trilinda, Meditative Crafter, I Knit Socks 2, Little Angel SG2, Little Mermaid, Yellcat 2, there's lots of 2s, Knit Girl Wagner, and Knit Live Love. So, congratulations if you were one of those winners. PM me, Java Pearl on Ravelry, full name and mailing address, and we will get your prize mailed out to you. Thank you to everyone who participated. And because this is over, we have a new owl that has begun. Let's talk about it.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August.
Summertime and the living is easy.
Ow.
The bird outside wanted to sing with me. Did you not hear it? It went...
No, so this runs from the 1st of June to Shut up! This runs from the 1st of June to the 31st of August, and it is for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to summertime.
The bird would like to know if it makes a nest in the tree. Can it enter?
No.
Okay. Thank you for trying.
There are a couple main... There are... God is mocking me. I'm just going to ignore it. There are a couple of main rules for this owl. The first is that no whips are allowed. So your project cannot... Stop! Your project cannot have been begun before June the 1st and can be finished no later than the 31st of August. Stop it! It's not funny! The other main rule is that each project that you finish in under... God! I gave the bird the bird. It was off screen though, don't worry. Family friendly. The other main rule is that each project that you enter must be at least 20 yards. If your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post together with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. For stitching and sewing projects, we leave it up to your best judgment. You can feel free to poly-dip in other craft-alongs that are going on at the same time, including the great podcaster Craft Together. We have lots of wonderful prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to all our donors. If you want to get closer looks at these prizes, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsnet.com, or tune into the first podcast of every month-ish, where we talk about them in detail. If you are interested in donating a prize, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsnet@gmail.com. Stop it!
I'm sorry, it won't quick.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There is a hashtag if you want to tag your projects or post on social media. It is GGKCS. See, Bert doesn't like that either. Summertime 20. The FO thread is going to be locked the morning of the 1st of September. Stop! And the winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And again, like with our spring prizes, any winners have 30 days from that podcast to claim their prizes or they forfeit it. There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can chatter
like the bird.
Stop. And it's where I congratulate people who finish projects, and only one person has finished one so far. It's Little Angel SG2.
Great job. So yeah, this has just started. You have about 3 months to go. Work on those projects. Get them posted, and you might be a winner of one of our great prizes. Let's move on to the next segment.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes.
So this week's question is from Hillary, crafty textile lady, who is a really cute bird from Canada. The bird and the little lady, I think, are both from Canada. Tell us about the weirdest TV, movie, book that you've ever experienced. I don't mean something that was bad or unwatchable, but more something that took a lot of twists and turns, taking it to a very weird place. Excuse me. That was unexpected. Also, is there any entertainment that one of you enjoys and the other finds completely perplexing? Anything Pink Pearl likes to watch or listen to that the humans are confused about? And the context for this is that Hillary's partner has been watching a bunch of Bollywood movies in the pandemic that use sometimes very silly tropic elements and Deus Ex Machina.
So, well, for example, riding a scooter into a hospital ward to get someone to an emergency patient quickly.
And also, her bird likes to listen to American politics podcast, a specific one.
Yes. Apparently, her parrot Heaven has one of her favorite candidates was someone who ran in the last Democratic primary. So, okay, this was a tough question. Well, the first part of the question about the the thing that took a lot of twists and turns, the plot. So I couldn't think of any TV shows or movie. I mean, there's episodes of stuff, but nothing that I couldn't think of anything recent. But I did pull up my Goodreads and like looked through and pulled out 3 books, not necessarily that like went to weird spots, but like where it took a turn that I wasn't expecting. So one of them is The Dearly Beloved by Cara Wall, and it's about 2 couples that the husbands are jointly hired to lead a church, but there's lots of personal things in all 4 of the main characters' lives that twist and turn, and I gave the book 5 stars on Goodreads. It was a very good read. It definitely brought me a lot of tears at points, but it was a very, very good book that I gave a really high rating to. Another book is Far from the Tree by Robin Binway. Again, this is another one that I rated 5 stars. And it is about biological siblings that, like, one of them was adopted at birth. One was, I can't remember. There's 3 of them. One of them who like is still in the foster care system. I believe one was adopted not at birth, and the other was adopted at birth.
Okay,
it's been
you don't need that context. You can just say they were all adopted at various points.
Well, one of them's not adopted, still in the foster system. But it was a really interesting, the twists and turns of these 3 biological siblings whose lives were all very different. And then also, bless you, were trying to decide if they wanted to meet or look for their biological mother. So, another very, very good read. And then the third one, again, was another one that I gave 5 stars to. It's called Recursion by Blake Crouch. And it is a sci-fi thriller. And it's about a phenomenon that was dubbed false memory syndrome, where a person has a mysterious affliction that drives its victims mad with memories of a life they never lived. And it was really, really interesting, but again, one that like took twists and turns. So those are the 3 that I've read in recent days that that had that element of twists and turns of unexpected.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Dammy and I,
brain empty.
As soon as when this question came in, we both had like talked about it and like thought about it, and we're like, "Gosh, this is a difficult question." Okay, so now one of the other parts of the question is there an entertainment that one of you enjoys and the other finds completely perplexing? Well, I really enjoy podcasts, and you're not a podcast person.
I listened to a couple. I listened to Ologies with Allie Ward, the ones on the Constitution, because I had to read the entire Constitution for one of my classes. So I listened to some of them.
You're just not as big of a podcast person as I am.
Yeah, I like true crime YouTube.
Okay.
And I don't think you've like gotten into that.
I haven't really. I tend to do more true crime audio, but the Dr. Hubs is totally perplexed of my interest in true crime. So
it's crime, it's true.
Yes, and I am one that watches a lot of procedural shows. I really enjoy the whodunits, and
Do you think Pink enjoys them?
She watches them with me. The Dr. Hubs is not as big a fan of those.
He enjoys the comedic ones. He's consistently like, we should rewatch Psych. We should rewatch Monk.
Yeah. Where mine tend to be more
Drama.
Pink Pearl likes to watch the birds and any animals that are outside, but birds especially the really, really big ones. Probably
the ones that were screaming at me.
That is her. She loves.
That's her
to do that.
go-to media.
I have thought about that we should try at some point downloading one of those apps that is like for the cats, where they like there's things on the screen and they.
I tried that once. She didn't want it.
She didn't want it.
She was just like, I'm sleeping. Leave me alone.
So, that was a really great question, Hillary, or set of questions. It really made us think, especially that first part of like, I mean, I went back through like IMDb, like for stuff I had rated and stuff, and there was things such as like Outlander where there are twists and turns, but because I've read the books, most of it's expected. But if you haven't read the books, that would be something, and adult content on that one, that would be something that might be interesting for you. But yeah, I mean, I think in most of the TV I watch, there are episodes where there are unexpected things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like what's that show that I just watched with Nathan Fillion in it?
Rookie.
The Rookie. Like when the spoilers here, when the police, the police,
Fellow.
the
Detective.
no, or that too, but the like when they're, I guess the rank would be like captain of their particular house was murdered. But yeah, the end of season 2, I believe, of The Rookie, where now Nathan Fillion's character has been framed for being a bad cop. Yeah. So yeah, there are things, but there's nothing that I can think that overall is like just constantly filled with twists and turns. So Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread and post it, or post in the comments under this YouTube video, and we will move it to our thread and answer them in order.
So apologies, and I did apologize to people. YouTube stopped notifying us if we had comments. So I caught it finally and went back and responded to the ones that I had missed. But again, apologies if I missed your comment and was delayed in responding to it. They're still not notifying me, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on, why they're not notifying me. Gotta love technology. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Well, with that, we have come to the end of our show. With birdie interruptions and all. Dammy,
Are we talking about that bottom thing?
No, that's
Okay.
just my notes, because next week is our 400th episode, and we're going to be doing several giveaways, and so I've got notes in there because I didn't want to forget any of them. So that's why they're there. Dammy, because we share a Google Doc for show notes, that whole thing. Dammy, do you want to remind them?
So this is a reminder to donate when and where you can to organizations supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. Donate to local bail funds. Through the end of the 9th of June, 70% of all our pattern proceeds from our Ravelry store will be going to the NAACP. So if that is a way you would like to channel donations, you are more than welcome to do that.
Yep, it's for all of our patterns and ebooks, and it's 70% so that we can cover fees. The rest of it is covering fees. So, yeah, fees. Yeah. I don't think we have any other announcements besides that. Again, if you were a winner in the Spring Owl, make sure you PM me, 30 days to claim your prizes. Okay, well, we would like to say a big thank you. We love you guys. To everyone who supports the podcast. We say it over and over again, but without y'all, we wouldn't be doing this. So thank you. And especially thank you to those of you who support us financially, because it does cost money to do the podcast. For example, all these prizes that we've just awarded have to be shipped out. And there's technology and all the things around that, etc. So if you'd like to support the podcast financially, there's three main ways you can do that. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on the level you donate at. I will be doing rewards this weekend.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I believe it usually is the 5th or the 6th of the month when they send the money over. So I have to wait for that. And then we'll do that. Danny, if somebody would like to know more about Patreon or would like to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way?
There is a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our website first, click on the appropriate link in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, and then do your shopping as normal. We earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. We had a lot of things purchased last month. I think a lot of people, including us, are doing a lot of their shopping online. So thank you for clicking through our website and supporting us in that way. Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Revelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We encourage you to keep in mind the things we shared at the top of the podcast, and educate yourself, support the Black Lives Matter community, especially, and as we shared, we've shared some resources and things on our social media, just love your neighbor as yourself. I will be back with you hopefully on Monday for a Stitch with Me. This week just things happened, and so it was delayed and didn't get out till Wednesday, but I will do my best to get one out to you on Monday, and then we will be back next week with our 400th episode next Friday. And we can't wait to share some prizes with y'all and just celebrate this almost 8 years that we've been doing this together. So until then, happy crafting, love each other, and we will talk to you again soon.